Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Well, that's just a little tease to get you going. Let me get my slides up and then we'll get back to that. How about that? Uh, let's see. Good morning and good evening to everyone. I know for some of you all it is morning, and for some of you it is still the evening time. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see who was here first. Oh, there we go. There's my slides. Get rid of me. Take me out the corner there. I don't want anybody to think I work corners. So let me take myself out the corner. Okay. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer. Sonia Johnson, Judy Matasik, Connie Balmer, Janice Goodrich, Maggie Howe, Nithalando Niandini, Carol Lunn, Khadijah Jacobs, Sherry Ware. Sherry Ware, what is that? Oh, you want to say hi to a few people. Okay. And Lydia Washington wants to say hi to a few people. And Jay Matt is here. Carmen's Place. Oh, well, let me just scroll. I promise we should be out of here in about an hour. I don't have a whole lot of slides, so um, let's get on with it, shall we? Hey, Rohini. And let's see. Oh, Legs is here. Legs says, hey, fam. All right. Let's get on with it. So, what's next for Meghan, the disappearing Duchess? Well, apparently, as of Sunday, GMT time, Sunday, November 5th, 2023. But Hollywood experts such as Jones believes that when it comes to Meghan big rebrand, time is of essence. She's been given this massive opportunity, but she's not really seizing it. Listen, hey, Elaine Parker. Whether she does something or nothing, or does a lot of something or a little or nothing, it does not matter. Her husband works, okay? He has a full time job. And somebody has to be there with the kids. So Meghan may spend more time with the kids and then go out and do whatever work she's doing or working from the home office. And the same with Harry. They work out of their home quite often. Sometimes they travel. Whatever they do or they do not do, that is their business. And so we don't know what the Sussexes' plans and goals are for their family. But I am sure that it is none of this. Is that the Telegraph? It is none of their business whether she does a little bit or a lot, whether Harry is doing a little or a lot. That is none of their flipping business. Uh, this is the woman who they said needs to be 50%. Now, they have had a concerted effort over the past few years of trying to drive Harry and Meghan to the brink of extinction, trying to make them unworthy to work with amongst people in certain circles. And yet, when they are not available at a time and place when they feel it should be necessary for them to get their photos, write all of their hypothetical stories or just pathetic stories based on really nothing but a guess, which I'll get to one of those guesses soon. But yeah, it's none of their business. Meghan is where she is. She's at where she's at, and she's doing whatever it is that she chooses to do or not to do. And in some cases, she goes to a concert. She and her husband go out on a date night, and it's nobody's business. I'm glad that they are What is that we always say? In Montecito, there are no leaks. And that's what's bothering them, is that they just can't seem to get a handle on what the Sussexes are doing next. But they have a foundation. They're executive producers, right? They have plenty, and I do mean plenty to do, that does not involve a timetable that the tabloid media thinks is worthy of them. So, Elaine Parker, did I give you a bell? Thank you, Elaine Parker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. All right. So, I'm cleaning my glasses. Oh, this is not working. Hold on a second. I got something better than this. Okay. I mean, if I'm going to clean my glasses, I may as well do it properly. And why is it so hot in here? Hold on. Okay. And to think, I thought I was having a stroke or something. Well, that's better. I thought I had put it on 74, but it was on 75. Okay, I'm back. So, glasses are clean. And I'm just sitting up here and I'm like having a heat stroke. And I'm just like, why am I so hot? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Thank you, Elaine Parker, again. That's a good question, Rohini. Why do they feel like that? Because absent the truth, and I mean the real truth, they have nothing else to go on. So there is nothing for them to do but to throw out that senseless, useless speculation about things that they know nothing of. Montecito has been airtight. Nothing has leaked out of Montecito. Nothing, which is a testament to their, people, right? Um, the paparazzi has not been the big nightmare that everybody thought it would be. At least they haven't been chased around California, knock wood. Of course, California has laws that protects people from stalkers, right? So they're in the right place. They're in a place where they can make plenty money to afford the protection necessary for their family. They're in a place where they can connect with other philanthropists and entrepreneurs, as well as, of course, the humanitarians. I mean, there's all of that there. There's every ingredient that they need to be successful. And so for them to go on with this endless speculation about what they may or may not be doing just goes to show that they have completely lost control of the narrative and is bugging them. It is getting on their nerves. Let's see. The Rangers need to stop counting Harry and Meghan's time and money. Yes, Lord, Kim Peaches. I wish they would. I wish that they would stop doing that. They're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. Anya Juanrisco, thank you so much for being here. Good night, Sussex Squad. We are the village that supports Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. Yes, you get a bell for that. Yes, I love that. Hey, Big Mama, happy Sunday to you too. Okay. All right. Oh, Leg says the UK media are pathetic. They have had a smear campaign for 7 years. Harry and Meghan are private citizens who reside in the United States. They left 4 years ago. Move on. Oh my goodness, it has been almost 4 years. Yeah, you're so right about that. No, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years because they left before the new year and they really did not settle back in full time. So yeah, you're right. It has been 4 years. Wow. Thank you so much, Lex, for that reminder. I must admit, oh, there we go. I must admit, I am salty about them going to see, um, what is that? Is it, that's not Dutchy, is it? I don't think so. Katy Perry, but nobody's perfect. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but think about it like this, Rohini. By them doing that, doesn't that kind of um what do I want to say? Doesn't that completely give a counter narrative to the idea that there was some type of what do you call it, tension between the Sussexes and Katy Perry? Not Orlando Bloom, of course, because as you know, Orlando warned them that there was a pap in the neighborhood that time. But yeah, and that's their neighbors, and they need the protection of having a relationship with their neighbors, especially people that are also, flush with cash and live in big houses. That's the circles that they run in, so they need to be able to count on their neighbors. And there's nothing to be lost by having a good relationship with your neighbors, even if somebody was hypercritical about your wedding dress. And then, just in case you guys don't know, Katy Perry made some disparaging comments about Meghan's wedding dress. Um, and that was just her opinion. And I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good idea. They I have some ideas about their relationship. I'll share it with you privately, but yeah, I have some ideas about that relationship. Kim Peaches says the Rangers stop counting Harry and Meghan's time and money. They will let us know on their own time. Damn it. You forgot to add a little damn it at the end of that. Thank you so much, Kim Peaches. Are you saying that I'm going through the change, Connie Balmer? Am I going through the change? I'm sitting up here having hot flashes. Yeah, because of my birthday, I'm starting to go through the change, huh? I don't know why 1 degree makes a big difference, but I usually have it on 74. And I thought I put it on 74, it was on 75. And for the past couple hours, I've been sitting up here thinking to myself, God, is it hot in here? Why is it so hot? But because I was so sure, I didn't bother. But yeah, that 1 degree makes a difference. VS speaks royally. The Rhoda are nutty. 1 second they want them out there, and then they want them to stay out of the public. Isn't that the truth? It's like they have a collective personality disorder. They don't know from which direction they want to approach something, so they just do everything. They try to do the most, I suppose. Uh, I love the Sussexes just show up whenever they want. They announce whatever they want, and the tabloids are seething with anger. Yes, they are incandescent with rage. I love it. I am here for the messiness of it. Um, let's see. Thank you for your comment, by the way. Let's see. Is it the Arna? Found it interesting to see this a sudden resurgence of Harry's isolated, miserable, and friendless in America. and the marriage is in trouble video news items in my feed since Byline Revelations. Yes, I've noticed that Harry is on the brink, and they make no mention of the fact that Harry said that he wanted out of there, um, 20 years ago? More than 20, well, about 20 years ago. For about 20 years, he's been trying to make good his escape. But let them tell it. Harry is being used and abused and such. So I agree with you. They're not sure. So they just um where's that photo? I don't like to show it that often because let me see. Uh Let me see. Do I have that one? Oh, maybe it's a good thing I can't find it. This photo always makes me feel a certain way, but um I tend to read a lot into it, maybe too much, but it to me it conveys in a you know in the click of a camera frame. I think it conveys a lot. So let me see if I can find that photo for you guys. um and who knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not seeing what I think I see, but I'll let you all decide. This one, um Harry just looks miserable there. He's there for his grandma, of course, because I believe it is Commonwealth Day. I believe it's Commonwealth Day. But whatever the case may be, uh, what he wanted was to be able to join with the family to do the official royal duties and such that were required by his grandma. In other words, I think that Harry thought, well, if I can't go and be a park ranger or tour guide in an African park, maybe this life would be bearable if I had a partner, someone who is into the same type of work that I'm into, a humanitarian, someone who will, be available to be my partner throughout all of this stuff. If I can just find someone who's able to do that. Well, he found someone who could outdo any of those people sitting next to or behind him. But the problem is, she did it so well that she wasn't welcome into the fold. They pretend as though they was happy for him, but the truth is, they did not want him to be happy. They wanted him to be that same miserable person that you see sitting there, not really a part of this group that's supposed to be his family. He was supposed to be like an appendage to his brother and his sister-in-law, and then eventually their children, who he wasn't really welcome to interact with according to the book. He didn't have a relationship with those kids. He didn't have a relationship with his brother, really. He wasn't welcome to the house. The only time I could think he's ever seen it was twice, and that was because he and Meghan went over there and was shocked by, how elaborate it was. And I think the one day he managed to make it into the saloon when President Obama and the First Lady showed up. But other than that, um, at his admission, there was not really a time or a place where he was welcome to even be a part of that team, let alone to increase the size of the team by one. And I mean, my heart breaks for that. My heart breaks for that. Um, he was naive enough to believe that he would be able to um, bring a wife into that circus, and that they would accept her, and that he would be able to travel with his wife and be equals with his brother and sister-in-law. And they just wasn't having it. They were not having it. That was never going to work because of the arrogance and ignorance of his brother and sister-in-law. Two very cruel people, and that Kate would put up with that nonsense. She, who's only just managed to get in there herself, that she would put up with that nonsense, that she didn't speak up for Harry, certainly didn't speak up for Meghan, wouldn't speak up for anybody. And yet she's supposed to be the peacemaker. She's supposed to love children, and she has all these ideas about the early years, which is pretty solid until you try to ask her what it means. And of course, she wouldn't be able to give you a logical answer. She would probably look up and down at the empty binder that she carries everywhere she goes, and try to, I don't know, make something out of that. But yeah, poor Harry. What he must have gone through up until that point when he introduced them to Meghan, and of course the uh, period of time where he actually thought that the promises that his family made were going to carry the day, and it did not. It wasn't meant to. They had it in for Meghan from the start, and they had an idea for Harry that had nothing to do with him growing as a person. They just needed him for about, oh, I don't know, until the Cambridge kids were old enough, and then they could cast him adrift like they would have done any other member of the family. Judy Matasis says, I guess, Baron, but I don't trust or like her, Katy Perry. Yeah, yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. My my only goal is what's best for the Sussexes, and if there's some redeeming quality to whatever connection they have, I hope it's beneficial for the Sussexes. So thank you so much for your super chat. And Lex says, don't look like Harry was fuming at Baldy's celebs. Thank you so much for that, Legs. All right. And okay. Let me I know, Connie Balmer. You know, I always promise I'm not going to show that photo again because it makes me feel awful, but I felt like I needed to make a point. So I shared it again. Okay. Now, do I have a soundbite? Yes, I have a soundbite, and I don't have my soundbite speaker. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so there you go. Katie V says, Baron Kate is a good for nothing Duchess. She cannot stand up for herself, let alone she stood up for Meghan. Yeah, She doesn't she doesn't care. She really doesn't care. I think like most barely verbal people, um, she tries to seem capable by being angry and rude and cruel to people. If I had to guess, now of course I don't know her personally, but I think like a lot of people that you know lack verbal skills that are not necessarily able to connect with people in conversation by keeping her nose up in the air and pretending to be better than everybody else, much like William. In that, they are a good pair for each other because I have speculated for quite some time that the behavior that they engage in when they're on these tours and visits and such. I think it's like a big in joke between the two of them, just like the dress blowing up and showing the bare bottom over and over again. You would think that he would put his foot down and say, this is not good for the family, for the monarchy and such. But instead, he passively just seemed to condone it, and she just kept doing it. She just kept doing it. It did not seem to matter how weird and tasteless it was. She just kept doing it. She did what she wanted to do. So, absent any other truth, I could only imagine that she and Willie Leaks, I think that they have their own little language that they speak with each other, where you can be cruel and mean spirited to people. Um, William doesn't show any deference for the rest of his family in any way, including his father of all people. He doesn't show any consideration for his family in any way. And it's very evident by the fact that you just don't see that family doing things together unless it's a state occasion. They don't do anything together. Even for the firm, I would say that that's concerning. Has he ever gone to church with his father? Has he ever gone to church with his grandma? I don't remember him going to church with his grandmother. Ever. Ever. I don't recall that. Not as an adult. Not as an adult. Very strange. Very strange. It seems like you would want to get as much knowledge from someone who's been on the throne for 70 years before they're not here anymore. God knows I would, especially when I see that person is slipping away slowly. You would think I would spend more time with my grandmother. Or for Charles, you would think instead of setting up for an interview, I would be at my mother's side looking at the state of her when she shook hands with Liz Truss. No, he was setting up for an interview. They had to come and get him on a cold and damp, rainy night. They had to come and get him and fly him to Balmoral's to be at his mother's side. That's the kind of look. I do believe that the Queen was a hospice patient. I believe she was a hospice patient. And at that time, he should have been at his mother's side. I've experienced enough life to know when you need to be with your mother, and he was not. And that speaks volumes for him, and it speaks volumes for his family, for the whole lot of them. And the one person who would have loved to have been there, well, you know what happened the last time Harry tried to show up unannounced. Um, well, actually, not show up unannounced when he tried to see his grandmother. You know, when he was told that her diary is full. So we all know what happened there. Anyway, thank you so much, Katie V, and thank you for being a member as well as the super chat. What a wacky, weird family. I almost hesitate to call the firm a family. Okay, so I got my soundbite. I got my soundbite speaker. So let me get that for you. Although I don't know that I really need it now, but I'll do it anyway since I've gone through the trouble. I mean, I did jump out of this chair like somebody put a Motown record on, so at the very least I should play it, right? Right. Oh,
Oh, and there were some pretty big names. Star Katy Perry wrapped up her Las Vegas residency show over at Resorts World just hours ago, and there were some pretty big names in the audience to bid the artist farewell. Now, get this, Prince Harry and wife Meghan Markle were in the audience. A video doing rounds on social media shows the Duke and Duchess of Sussex being led to their seats. Now, Katy Perry also performed at Prince Harry's father, King Charles's coronation earlier this year. Another big name star was in the audience, and that is Celine Dion. What a legend. Dion was announced as one of the first entertainers to perform at Resorts World when it opened in 2021. But she had to delay the start of her residency, blaming muscle spasms, and canceled her.
okay. So
Star
that was
Katy
it.
Perry.
That was it. Just wanted you to hear the way the media has portrayed the event. So yeah, very much in that tone. All right. Okay. Lorna Williams says the royal family only do things together for state occasions or photo PR opportunities. Apparently. Apparently. That's very strange, though. It is, even for the royal family. Big Mama says, I believe when the Queen died, Charles said, Camilla, Camilla. She's like, Camilla, Camilla. It's finally our time. Probably. It's hard to tell. It's hard to know if there's any type of emotion there. Because, I mean, just that he was raised by, you know, the Queen Mother, and not so much his mother, but the Queen Mother and his father. They're the ones that really raised him, in my opinion. Those are the ones that really raised him. Leg says it's really sad and pathetic life to wait around for a guy for 10 years only to be treated the way she is now. Her mother really could have hoped for more with her daughters, that is classism. They're social climbers, those Middletons. I don't know that I would use social climber on anybody except for those Middletons. That is just so abundantly obvious. Um, it was like a what do you call it? Laser focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's to marry them off. It almost seems like something from Sense and Sensibility or one of those other um, Jane. What is her name? Jane, not Jane Addams. Jane Austen. Sounds very Jane Austen-ish, doesn't it? You gotta marry. You gotta marry for position and money. Hmm. Very disrespectful to the queen. You know how I feel about that. Very disrespectful. Yep. I thought it was ignorant and disrespectful. As that Katy Perry had a residency, didn't know but do now because of Harry and Meghan. Oh yeah, that's right. And when is that was the last day of it, right? I think that was the last day of the residency that she had. Huh. Or was it? Oh well. That going all the way to Las Vegas for that, it's not like they just went across town. They went to Las Vegas. And obviously there's some type of connection there, whatever it may be. Thank you so much, Lex. Maybe they were gifted the tickets. There's Celine Dion. She was suffering from muscle spasms, and she did not complete the obligation that she had for her residency because of that. And there's Harry and Meghan. The crowd was just like so excited when they saw the Sussexes. And there's a little, I don't know what was going on with the red lights, but one of the moments that they had at the event. And there you can see Harry either nodding off, or maybe the camera just caught him at one of those moments. But that would be very me to fall asleep and then wake up when the song that I know comes on. And as usual, Meghan is all energy, just like her mom. Very much energetic, into the music. Uh, and that's next to Meghan is Nisha Nunu, the designer, if I'm saying her name right, Nisha Nunu. And there you can see Harry's royal protection, his own protection. They go back for some years. Yeah, and also I'm thinking the soldier and Harry um, probably wasn't so keen on the seating arrangements, but they were next to I believe the lighting board or something like that. So they did have like one area of protection. But yeah, that's something that when security is important, you always think of a secondary place that you can retreat to. So um, they were right there by the scoreboard or lighting board. And anyway, Meghan, who doesn't have any friends, seems to be awfully chatty with what's her name? Nisha. Oh, yeah, probably. Orlando Bloom was there, and their kids, or his kids, or he was there with a couple of kids, I think. So that's probably what happened, is that they were invited. And yeah, Meghan is just living her best life. She is living her best life, and that's all to it. Let's see. Mary Katy Perry's concert was boring. I don't blame Harry if he nodded. Hold on. Let me put something on my lips so I can see what you're trying to do. Let's see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me split my lip again. uh, okay, there goes the lip balm. Now you can say whatever you want to say. Mm, 'Cause I am protected. Okay, I have my protection. Oh, let me see. He's probably like, I heard all these songs, get something new. And, probably heard it drifting through the air from next door. Yeah, probably someone rehearsing at home. And Harry's like, boring. Yeah, he about ready to go home. It's not Formula One. Yeah, it's not Formula One. Yeah, and then somebody's holding a phone up in his face, and of course he's not having it. Um, yep, yeah. I think Harry was really scanning the room. I think he was scanning the room a lot. And really, that's a habit that Harry's had since he was a child, as you all know. He always was very guarded about his surroundings, even from childhood. But yeah, and there was a lot of people with the phones. I think we've only seen a fraction of the photos, but yeah, there was a lot of people with their phones up and everything. So um, I'm sure that they that I'm okay. I'm sure Harry probably wasn't thrilled about that location, but you never know. You never know. Let's see here. Megan and Misha have been friends for a long time. I saw pics of Megan dancing. According to TMZ, they were virtually ignored. Oh, okay. And yet we see all these phones waving around. I even saw one video where someone says, "Yeah, that's Prince Harry." Thank you so much for your comment, April. Okay. Multiple Kenyan based journalists have raised concerns about racial undertones during the royal family visit. Those who I have spoken to say they were mistreated and felt degraded in their own country, sovereign countries, so to say. Well, yesterday I shared with you there was an article that came from someone's Twitter storm. But as you can see on the left side, King Charles had chance to define vision for Commonwealth on Kenya visit and is being hailed a success. While visiting Kenya, the king expressed his deepest regret for unjustifiable acts of violence during British rule. But on the other side, there's someone who says segregated press buses, stale sandwiches, and used toothpicks behind the scenes of a well choreographed but tone deaf visit to Kenya. Well, see, there's always another story. April Jones, Megan and Misha have been. Oh, according to. I'm sorry. I did that already. Why did I hit that again? I don't know. Okay. So right here, Kenyan journalists have complained of being racially mistreated and segregated during King Charles III's 4-day visit to the country. They complained that the segregation started from transportation to being fed leftover and stale sandwiches. Now, this was in one of those Kenyan newspapers or news something. And there on the right, food leftovers, separate buses. Kenyan journalists accuse UK embassy of racial mistreatment during royal visit. Well, what is that all about? The story on the left, I happen to have the article, which is good because I thought it was going to be limited to just that Twitter storm, but no. For Sunday the 5th, someone actually put it in the Kenyan.com something. Anyway, Kenyan journalists complained of being racially mistreated and I did that already. States that segregation started from the transportation to being fed leftovers and stale sandwiches. Let me see. Discrimination. Trying to see if there's anything new here. Britons received preferred treatment during mealtime, despite Kenyan and UK state teams agreeing on distribution of food equally. It was reported that the United Kingdom embassy in Kenya was in charge of distribution of packed foods. Okay, well, as I told you guys, I have a theory about what could have possibly have gone wrong with the distribution of food. I mean, obviously the meals reached a bottleneck, just like Robert Jobson going up the stairs of the royal aircraft. Um, Robert Jobson and Rebecca English seem to have created a bottleneck, even though there seems to be a flight of stairs wide enough for 3 to 4 people abreast, but somehow the two of them managed to clog it and block it and obstruct it. I mean, there's like people had to literally wedge themselves to get past them. So, I mean, that is that's a fire hazard, isn't it? I don't think that any I don't think that there's any fire department or what do they call it in the UK? Emergency, whatever. I don't think there's any of those agencies that would allow the two of them to travel together, let alone be on the same, let alone be on the same staircase together. Do, do you realize how hazardous that is to everyone involved? I mean, they could have damaged the aircraft. They could have damaged that stairway or whatever. Um, Shame on them. So that just goes to show the level of poor planning. That just goes to show the level of poor planning that was involved with that ascension up the steps and onto the plane. I hope they put them on different sides of the plane, just until they got to about cruising altitude. Okay, I'm through. I'm through. I'm through. I promise. Now, Leg says the forever wise and brilliant Rohini says, of course he bored and is no Beyonce. She's yes, and I don't think you're saying Duchess there, right? So yeah, I have to be careful, but I understand. Thank you so much, Legs and Rohini. Oh wow. Um. Anyway, have you all noticed how blasé we are about the Sussexes night out? And you know why? Because this has become a regular thing now, right? Remember when we were starved for anything Sussex, but now they're out and about and living their best life, and now we can kind of be a little more cool about it, right? Right. Oh, and good morning. Yes, in case you missed it, there seemed to be a shortage of food and I don't know. They said something about the British were supposed to be in charge of the distribution. The British were supposed to be in charge of the distribution of meals. But I think whoever did the equation, whoever was responsible for the math involved with ordering portions, obviously obviously didn't factor in two of the British reporters that accompanied Charles and Camilla to Kenya. I don't think that they factored in, you know what I'm saying? Like that the plane needs X amount of fuel to go a certain distance, right? Well, when it comes to feeding the Royal Rota, you know that you're supposed to allow for more portions if certain members of the Royal Rota are present, just like certain members require more alcohol. So that's all I'm saying. It's abundantly clear where the mishap occurred. Which is another question. Did Robert Jobson ever get up those steps, or did they leave him in Kenya? I'm just asking for a friend. Do you think he ever got up there? It kind of reminds me of Miss Jane Pittman. Most of you Americans of a certain age remember Jane Pittman, Miss Jane Pittman. Remember when she walked to that water fountain? I'm kind of getting that vibe that Jobo going up those steps was like Miss Jane Pittman walking to that water fountain. You can go to commercial and come back, and she was still on her way to that water fountain. So, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Robert Jobson is a hardworking journalist, and I should afford him a certain amount of decorum for the work that he's doing, being a malicious, cruel, mean spirited royal rota. Um, yeah, so there you go. And as for Rebecca English, same for her too. Anyway, what was I saying? Do you think we need to go through those backpacks? Huh? Do you think we need to go through their bags? Because if there was a shortage, perhaps we need to go through their bags, right? I wonder, I wonder if the overhead compartment where they're sitting, if you open it up, about 300 sandwiches. I wonder if 300 sandwiches wouldn't come flying out of there. What do you think? Huh? What if somebody opens up the wrong overhead compartment and about 300 or 400 sandwiches come flying out? What would you say about that? I'm just asking for a friend. How would they explain that, huh? How would they explain that? I'm just asking. How would they explain about 300 or 400 sandwiches flying out of that overhead compartment? Nobody has an answer? Okay. Don't say that I didn't ask. Oh, okay, you all. I'm just having some fun at their expense. Let's move on. There's more serious things to talk about. Um, I wonder if they were allowed to sit together. I'm just asking for a friend. Yeah. They look guilty, don't they? I mean, look at them. They just look guilty. I could just imagine. That's that look that you have when somebody say, something terrible happened. The Kenyan journalists, they didn't have enough sandwiches, right? That's that look you have when somebody says, does anybody know what happened to their... All right, all right. This is just getting silly now. Let's move on, you guys. Now, you may recall, and see, this is why I have to be careful because Robert Jobson has already mentioned how the Sussex squad can be extra. So I'm going to, after today, I have nothing to say about Robert Jobson. He's doing his job, and that's that.
Right in the book about when they try to force that Fab Four thing on us during the Queen's death, you know, that sort of fake walkabout when they're supposed to be together, that Kate said to another member of the royal family that it was one of the hardest things she ever had to do. Now, then immediately on Twitter you get all those Sussex troll idiots saying, well, you need to get out more if that's the hardest thing she ever done. You know, but, you know, the point of it is that it was a very difficult...
Huh. That's interesting, Robert. I wonder what's the hardest thing you've ever had to do. Wait, I think I already know. But yeah, that's what he said about the Sussex squad. He said that we are hypercritical of him.
Right in the book about when they try to force that Fab Four thing on us during the Queen's death, that sort of fake walkabout when they're supposed to be together, that Kate said to another member of the royal family that it was one of the hardest things she ever had to do. Now, then immediately on Twitter you get all those Sussex troll idiots saying, well, you need to get out more if that's the hardest thing she ever done. The point of it is that it was a very difficult...
Okay. All right. So Angelina Stanley says, every time I see this picture, I can't help but think how shady Camilla Tominey was for giving him that chair. Look at her solid chair. They were trying it. Woo, let me go back and take a look. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. I mean, that could have pretzeled in a heartbeat. Yeah, I get it. I get it. That was taking a chance with a very, very hardworking reporter. So, listen, you all, I need to set a better example. I think I am having a really bad impression on you all. And from henceforth, after today, I promise that I am going to be an example to everyone, an exemplary Royal Sussex from here on out. This has been reduced to this has been reduced to a certain level that I did not see coming. I've always tried to have a certain amount of decorum with Royal Sussex, and decorum we will have. Oh, otherwise, I'm so glad to get that out of my system. Okay. Now, you guys, I am having problems. I don't know if this has happened to you, but it's happened to me. I snapped this picture earlier because I thought I saw something. Do you all see it too, or is it just me? Ever since they showed that picture of Camilla sitting in that Range Rover, I cannot seem to not see her. Every place I go, everything I do, I lift up the toilet, she's there. I open up the refrigerator, she's there. I open up the cupboard, she's there. How do I get rid of her? I heard like a knocking sound coming from my car. I was afraid to open up the hood because I keep thinking that that she's there. But wait, it gets even worse. I was riding behind a school bus, and when the school bus stopped, I saw this. Yeah, I'm telling you that I'm sure to you, you see like maybe a 7-year-old child, but I'm seeing the Queen Consort. I cannot stop seeing her. Every dark space, every place I go, I just seem to keep running into her. So maybe I should seek some therapy or something, but this has got to stop. I mean, yeah, it's ever since this, every place I go, I keep seeing her, just looking at me, just staring at me with those suspicious eyes, and yeah. I knew when I saw her on the school bus, I said, something is wrong. Why do you think I was just sitting here cleaning my glasses? I was just sitting here cleaning my glasses because I thought, well, if I can get this film off my glasses, maybe she'll go away. It's like a ghost in my dreams. Yeah, she will haunt your dreams. So so my advice is, next time you're out and about, if there's a school bus or a storm drain, don't look directly into it because you may see something you can't unsee. Oh, I wonder if I'll see her under a bridge somewhere. I wonder if she does bridges. Uh, but let me see. Where are we? Oh, okay. Okay, you guys, I'm almost done. I am going to finish up with this. Now, at Royal Sussex, I always try to be fair, right? So the other day, I was making sport of the governor of Arkansas. I referred to her as Jethrine and Uncle Fester, and yeah, I have not necessarily been kind. In this one, I'm not sure what I was trying to say, but that was during the election last time, and I just got a little carried away. So, but I am going to have to take all of that back. Yes, I thought her fashions were a bit provincial and somewhat, you know, not suitable for a governor, let alone for somebody's mom. But get ready for it. Get ready for it. Somebody has been to the glam squad, and I'm just going to have to say it. She looks good. She looks good. She looks good. Yes, I said it. Write it down. Let me see. Sunday, November 5th, or perhaps Monday, November 6th. She looks good. She looks good. That's the best that I have ever seen her look. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I want to be fair. That's the best I've ever seen her look. Uh, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders looks good. She's the belle of the ball. I love the outfit. I like her hair up like that. She looks good. So that's it. I try to be fair, and fair is fair. She looks good. And when Camilla went to France and she was dressed up with that blue tarp, I said she looked good, right? Right. So when I think someone is doing more, I will say so. Yeah, it looks like she lost some weight. Looks like she lost some weight. So yeah, she looks good. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I am going to say I approve. She looks good. And with that, you guys, I promised an hour, and an hour it has been. One last little bit of shade, all the way from Whoville, just a little shade from Whoville. Um, like I say, you just can't unsee it. Sometimes you see it and you cannot unsee it. So, and that's the last bit of shade. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all of the wonderful birthday greetings the weekend. That was very, very unexpected, but greatly appreciated. And on behalf of Meghan's mom and on behalf of Harry's mom, thank you so much for supporting these two incredible human beings that are changing the world as we know it with their philanthropy, with their involvement, and of course, they are an inspiration to some of us. So thank you. And thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And yeah, thank you all very much. And I'll be looking for the last word of the day, and then you all can go back to running your business. It's going to feel strange getting out of here this early, but thank you, Elaine Parker, for I think probably waking up to do this. I appreciate it. And thank you, Connie Balmer, for starting your day with us, right? And for the rest of you squatties in the, are we the Western time zone? Well, in the Americas, thank you so much for staying up with us. Love you guys. I hope you have a very productive week. And let me find something appropriate for the last word of the day. Oh, I had such a great time with my family, you all. I had such a great time with them. And I got some food left over. Remember, I told you there was some dressing, and they didn't make a turkey, they made some Cornish hens. Well, I made like a sandwich with sourdough bread, um, a thin slice of dressing, and some thinly sliced meat, and I put some cranberry sauce on it. It tastes like I was eating Thanksgiving. It was so good. It was so good. Oh, thank you so much, Sherry. Let me see here. I have a list for tonight. I missed my list. And I am going to go to bed early. I had a great weekend. Hmm, oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. Thank you, Elaine Parker, Legs and Legs, Kim Peaches, Judy Matassid, and Katie V. Thank you all very much for the super chat and super stickers. Huh, okay, that's interesting. Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, that was very nice. Connie Bomber says, good night, U.S. squatties, and good morning, us in the Europe and Africa. Yes, fine good morning to you all. Okay. Well, here's a list of things that you may find helpful. As you know, let me see. Yeah, as you know, in this very political age that we live in, it seems like there's so many things that are coming at us and labels and such that sometimes it's very difficult to do anything without someone trying to change your point of view and everything. But here's some suggestions. If you don't like gay marriage, don't get one. Don't like cigarettes, don't smoke one. Don't like abortions, don't have one. Don't like sex, don't do it. Don't like medicinal purposes, don't do them. If you don't like seeing those freaky movies, I'm substituting the word, don't watch it. If you don't like alcohol, don't drink it. If you don't like guns, don't buy one. If you don't like rights taken away, then don't take away someone else's rights. Okay? Don't take away someone else's rights if you don't want your rights taken away. And lastly, prayers for Church Nellie. Prayers for Church Nellie. There's a big void in Royal Sussex and the rest of these Sussex friendly spaces. And hopefully, Church Nellie will be back very soon, just as full of good cheer and laughs and fun as before. So, the sooner the better. Yes, good night from Canada. All right. Okay, so anyway, that's the list right there. If you don't like those things, just stay away from it. And don't take anybody else's rights away if you don't want yours taken away. It's very simple. We live in a civilized society, and the hopefully we're not infringing on someone else's rights. Okay. Yes, please hit that like button. Oh, I have a couple of items in my mailbox. I'm gonna go and get those probably Wednesday. Yeah, maybe Wednesday I'll get them. But so if you did send something to the Royal Sussex wish list, thank you in advance, and I will probably grab those items Wednesday. So thank you, and thank you in advance. All right. Ginger Avenger? Why not? Cue the Ginger Avenger. What are you guys going to do for the next 45 to 2 hours without me still talking? I don't want to find out. I'm just kidding. I'm going to get out of here for real, though. Love you all. By the way, per the comments that I made earlier about the newly minted Princess of Wales, as you know, we always reach out to Kensington Palace.
Obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. Contractually, I am obligated to reach out to Kensington Palace. So, if anyone asks you if I reached out to Kensington Palace, make sure you tell them I did. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So that's it. Or as Robert Jobson would say, as Robert Jobson would say, the Sussex squad, those vile individuals. Yeah. So, to quote Robert Jobson, oh, okay. Bye, y'all. Good night.